Guys turn to you right away?
Get the basics down, learn the playbook, but I think the most important thing to me is getting my teammates respect, and that's working the hardest, helping out in any way I can, doing whatever I can to help the team win. I think that was the first thing on my mind.
Do you feel like you've done that? Got your teammates respect?
I think I'm on the way there. But I'm new here. I don't think it's been enough time for somebody to even get to know me yet. So, building those relationships with these guys, showing them what I'm about. I think that's a stairway, stepping stones to each stage.
What have you learned about yourself, just being out here and succeeding so far at this level?
Nothing I didn't know already. I work hard. I tell myself I work the hardest. So, any moments out here is something that I've already believed that I could do. So, it's just like I said. When I'm prepared, I trust myself that I'm prepared. I come out here to make the plays that I know I can make.
DA was saying earlier that obviously they see the speed down the field, all that stuff. They want to learn more about what you can do as a route runner, underneath, yards after catch, all that stuff. What can you do on those other routes and after the catch?
I think it's important to know that I can run the whole route tree. Obviously I'm fast, but I've always been a deep threat receiver, but I can run every single route in the game, and I think that's what kind of makes me dynamic, especially in the pass game.
Do you have sort of a chip on your shoulder coming in as an undrafted guy?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think I wouldn't say it's the hard way, but it's it's the opportunity that God gave me. So first and foremost, I'm appreciative. I'm very thankful to be here. But yeah, I definitely have a chip on my shoulder, and it's something that I gotta I know I have to come out here and prove it every day.
What was the draft process for you like?
It was new. It was something I never went through obviously before. So it was just controlling what I could control, and I think that's how I ended up here.
Mason, how many opportunities did you have before you went to Yale?
I had about 15 offers out of high school.
So why did you pick? What led you there?
So it really came down to Kent State or Yale, and I'm from Akron, so Kent State's about 30 minutes from me. And when I got the Yale offer, my mom kind of looked at me and she was like, the very least you're going to take this visit. So I took the visit and I ended up loving it, and I have a great relationship with honestly everybody in the organization at Yale, so I'm super fortunate that I went there.
And was that the only Ivy League school that you considered?
I had Dartmouth. Okay. Dartmouth was the other Ivy League offer, but I only took my official to Yale.
Do you get a different kind of respect from your teammates when they find out you went to Yale? And what kind of stuff do you hear?
I think they give me too much credit. The first thing I hear is Yale, and they assume I'm a genius. I think it's more jokes, but obviously I'm very fortunate that I did, that I was able to go to, one of the top academic institutions in the world. So, a little bit of both.
DA was saying that there's a difference between like smart and football smart. Is that something that you've noticed as well, or does it translate like to?
I think all great football players have to be football smart. You can't be overthinking on the football field get you beat. So, and it's funny, that was the first thing he told me when I met him. I got here for rookie minicamp was, I don't care. He was like, I don't care if you're smart, you need to be football smart. So, so that was, clear what he saw.
And then in terms of the Saints registering interest in you in pre-draft processes, or like, did it come together fast after you went undrafted, or how did that?
It was extremely fast. Like I said, it was something I never experienced before, but it was extremely fast. It was like in a blink of an eye I had to make a decision. So, but obviously, I trust God, and I felt like He was pulling me this way. So, I trust Him, and here we are.
Did you think you were a possibility to go late in the draft too, or?
I thought so. I mean, there, obviously never, anything's never for certain, but, but like I said, I trust God, and we're here.
How many of the teams were interested in you in the undrafted process?
It was a couple, but I'll be honest, I don't really think that matters now. But I had a couple opportunities. But it's I'll say it again. It just came down to where I felt I was being called, and so I went.
What's the main thing you're taking away from the other receivers?
Each guy. I think what's cool about this room is each guy kind of brings something different. Obviously. you know, the guys that we have are all dynamic. You know, there's bigger body, you know, bigger, longer receivers. There's, you know, fast guys. So it's something that I can, you know, learn from everyone. So that's kind of something I've been trying to do, is just watch who does what well and see what I can add to my game.
Who's the fastest receiver in that room?
I would like to say that I can contend for that spot, but you know, I think you know, Sheed and Olave both can really run. So you know, I won't get ahead of myself. I think those guys are extremely fast.
There's not like a huge like tradition of Yale products in the NFL. So like, when did that become like a realistic kind of goal for you? Was it like right when you stepped there, or was it kind of later on in the process?
Truthfully, it was probably after my freshman season. You know, I've been a starter. I was a 4-year starter at Yale, and I think after my freshman season, you know, having the bit of success that I had, I think, you know, my eyes were open to like, hey, you know, if you really want to chase this and you really want to, you know, play at the next level, then you got to put all your chips in. So, you know, I think that was when I opened my eyes to working hard and doing whatever I could to, you know, get where I said I was going to get to.
And you were at Keith Williams' camp. What was I mean, what's kind of been your relationship with him been like, and just with the kind of receiver group as a whole? It seems like kind of he's trying to get a almost family mentality.
I mean, he's a guy that really cares, and I think, you know, his genuine personality is you know, something I think draws us all in. You know, he's obviously super knowledgeable about the game. He's coached some of the best, you know, receivers in the game, and at the same time, you know, it's like you said, the family atmosphere, the brotherhood inside, you know, the receiver room. And I think the most important thing is that he coaches all of us like we're his sons. You know, so he's going to give us what is best for ourselves, and I think that's important.
Also, you mentioned your mom with Yale. Did she have any say on ending up on the Saints game?
No.
So, if you were thinking about the NFL since sophomore year, how did you approach the transfer portal?
I had thought about it, but to be honest, you know, Coach Reno at Yale, I think, you know, one of the things I liked the most about Yale was the brotherhood aspect. And, you know, I had a great relationship with my class, and, you know, we were 3-time Ivy League champions, so that was a goal of ours, was to win 3, and, you know, that's what we did. I think it was just a decision that I made that we were going to finish it the right way.
Okay, it didn't have to do with like the whole balance of what a Yale degree means.
Well, that too. I mean, I think that kind of speaks for itself. You know, I wasn't going to leave Yale if I already did 3 years. I wasn't going to leave then and not get my degree. You know, I think that kind of would have been kind of goofy. So,
do you think there are any particular highlights you could cite from your college football career that made it really hard for scouts to not notice you?
Did you say that again?
Any particular highlights, just favorite plays from your college career that you think, looking back, those are probably ones that made it impossible for the scouts to ignore me?
I think there's a lot of them. Like I said, I've always been a deep threat receiver, you know, but I think the questions that all the scouts or you know, people looking at me was just that, you know, how does you know, they look at the Ivy League in a certain light, you know, how does the speed translate to this level? And I understand, but at the same time, you know, I think it's hard to ignore, you know, a playmaker. So I have a lot of highlights, thankfully, that'll show a scout that I can play.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Yep, appreciate y'all. Thank you.
We have Trevor.
I know you probably were on the field.
Oh, yeah. I was watching.